Hello everybody, my name is Mathys and welcome to a channel update. If you are interested in this channel or any of my other ongoing projects, then stick around, we have a lot to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Judge Mathys channel, which I'm sure a lot of you on this channel are probably sick of hearing about, but I feel like I owe you guys an update on that channel regardless. So my most recent episode just launched a few days ago and it was on Condemned Criminal Origins. It was a special Halloween episode, and if you haven't, you should go check out that channel. Basically what I want to say is thank you guys so much for the support on Judge Mathys. It is an absolute dream project of mine, as I've said many times in the past. It's one of the things I did when I initially started Mathys Games was do scripted content, and for varying different reasons it ended up getting dropped, not because I wanted to, but because it made logistical sense to do so. And to be able to bring this back as a passion project of mine, and to see it flourish as it is in such a young age, it's only been around for a few months, is just, it's wonderful, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I'm every single time I get to work on an episode, it is just an awesome thing, and I'm excited every single time I start playing a game for the next episode or I start writing the script. In a lot of ways, it's allowed me to stretch those creative muscles that have laid dormant for so long, to write again, to write comedy again, write skits, to read from scripts again and get better at doing that. And it's also allowed me to work with one of my great friends that I've met through YouTube, Dean Cuddy, who in the early days of Mathys Games, when I was doing scripted content, he worked with me for free on those old Killed in Action episodes. And I'm lucky enough to bring him on board and actually pay him for his work, to actually hire him and say, all right, we're going to work on this. We're going to make Judge Mathys work. You're such a talent that I absolutely must have you when I am doing these Judge Mathys episodes. It's just been absolutely awesome to do. The earlier Judge Mathys episodes, the top 5 dead MMORPGs, the Wolverine one, and the Vampire Bloodline ones were all me. I edited them all myself, which is why there was such time between them, because of how much time it takes to do editing, playing the game, script writing, and all that stuff. But the luxury to be able to bring Dean on, even if it's me operating at a small loss to have him on, has made the quality of the content go way up, and the frequency of those videos go way up. No longer am I doing one video a month or every month and a half. I'm able to knock out 2 videos every month. So every 2 weeks, a video goes live, whether it be a top 5 list or a review, which more likely it's going to be a review of some sort. It's just been a blessing to have him on board and work with me to make this Judge Mathys channel what it is. I'm just very lucky, and I'm so happy. And the channel, for its size, is incredibly healthy. It's growing at a rate I would not expect to see it growing for a while. And the reception of the videos and what people like has always been so good. And each time I put an episode out, I end up watching that episode like 10 times at least, and I always can see, all right, I want to do that better, or that was really good, let's do that again, or do it maybe differently in this way, or I don't really like the way I delivered this type of line, maybe next time I'll do it like this. And just to reanalyze and refine that creative process has just been awesome. And to learn how to write a script again has been something that I've just been adoring. It's something that I haven't really been able to practice, and Judge Mathys has allowed me to do it. And if we go back, one of my biggest inspirations and one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, Peanut Butter Gamer, who I've been able to befriend over the course of the past few months due to circumstances and people we both know, to have him cameo in one of my episodes, this is a dream come true. And I'm working on other cameos, but I don't want to over cameo all my videos. It's just awesome that he's been able to be a part of that, and just, even if the cameo is 30 to 45 seconds, man, just to have him in a video is awesome. So basically, thank you for allowing Judge Mathys to be what it is. I hope it continues to grow, and I have wild dreams of maybe being able to bring Dean on full time as an editor and not have to have him worry about working other jobs, not having to work other jobs and, you know, all this other stuff, and just have him work for me. That would be a huge dream. And Judge Mathys just being self-sustaining and not operating at, I mean, it's not a big deal, but I operate Judge Mathys technically at a loss right now. That would be awesome. So don't worry, Judge Mathys isn't going anywhere by any stretch. and I'm super happy it is what it is. Thank you guys for the support on Judge Mathys, and I can't wait to bring you more episodes on it. The next thing I want to talk about is the Lost Initiative show, which is my other project that I've been working on. This has been another project that I've been working on behind the scenes for about 2 to 2.5 months. We've been making a very public push for it the past week or so now. And it's my live D&D show. So for those who don't know, there's 2 episodes on Lost Initiative on this channel on Mathys Games. You can go watch them. There's the announcement episode, and then there's a War Stories episode where me and my friend and DM talk about old characters from campaigns we've played. But for those who do not know, Lost Initiative is something I've been working on for a couple of months behind the scenes. It is going to be a weekly Dungeons & Dragons live show on Twitch. The VODs will be brought over to this channel after the stream. It will be every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it will consist of myself, my friend Scott, who I've been friends and has been my DM for 15 or 16 years now, Sam Strippin, Maggie Crone, and Bear Taffy. So you may know who Bear Taffy is since he runs in the same circles I do. If you watch Twitch, you probably know who Sam Strippin is. And Maggie she works for NCSoft. She streams as well. She's a relatively big streamer, I believe, and she's awesome. She's just a good friend. We will be playing in Faerun 5th edition starting tomorrow at 9 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. This is another project that I've been absolutely super excited for, and ended up being a lot more work than I expected it to be. I always expect projects to be work, but I never expect them to be as much work as they end up being. It's really weird, because it's the same thing with Mathys Games, where when I initially started Mathys Games, if I had known how much work it was going to be, there's a good chance that old me would never have started it because it had been too stressful, and it was a very stressful experience. And not to say I wouldn't have started Lost Initiative, because I did expect a decent amount of work, but it ended up being a lot more than I expected it to be. But I'm very happy with the end result so far, and I cannot wait to stream tomorrow. It'll be over at twitch.tv/Lost Initiative Show. Link will be in the description below. You can go check it out. The past week, basically the reason I'm talking about so much work is like the past week to 2 weeks has been the very public push of finalizing all art assets, getting everybody their characters, running a practice session, because Bear is brand new to D&D, and I want to make sure he has at least a loose grasp on the rules so far. Everybody else has played D&D before, with Maggie and Scott having probably the biggest grasp on the rules and having played the longest. Sam is on roleplay, so he has played D&D in some form or another, and I've been playing D&D with Scott for 15 years, so I have a very firm grasp on D&D. And Lost Initiative, though maybe not by its namesake, has been an idea in my mind for over a year or two now. If you remember, if you've been a long-time viewer of the channel, a long time ago, I used to do weekly vlogs called The Friday Wrap. In those, I would talk about what's going on the channel, what's going on with certain series, and at the end, I was always talk about my D&D sessions from the night before and discuss my character, the story that's going on, other characters, and surprises that have happened, and just kind of relay information. People really liked it. People would always ask for D&D updates. Some people would ask for like a D&D type show, and it's always been something I've wanted to do, but never really had a firm grasp as to how to do it. And over the past few years, we've seen the rise of other D&D shows. Roll For It, Critical Role, Role Play, just have all kind of cropped up and kind of laid a groundwork of how to do a D&D show properly. And I've looked at that, seen what I like, seen what I don't like, pushed it all together into my own kind of form. And I knew if I ever was going to do a D&D show, I needed to have Scott on board. His brand of dungeon mastering, of DMing, is so awesome that I always knew if I was going to do it, I needed him to be the very first DM, if the only DM that we ever have for these shows. And I always wanted to start this show with him. Like, I wanted this to be a joint venture with my friend, because, you know, something that I think I've talked about in the past is Scott is a huge reason I've been able to do the Mathys game stuff. Little short story is that back when I was still doing both waitering and doing Mathys game stuff, there came a point where the job I was working had opted to send me down the management path. They wanted to make me start to management training, to be a manager for the restaurant company I was working for. And I was kind of at a crossroads, because I knew if I was going to go down the management path, free time was gone. I was no longer be able to have the free time I had now to do Mathys games, and though it would be more steady and stable to be a manager, the dream of making this entertainment business work would essentially be gone. And I remember talking to Scott about it, and Scott said, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I think you have a real shot at making this work. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and the management branch, if you tell them no politely, will always be open for you if you need it. My suggestion is tell them no politely, really make a go at this YouTube thing. If it works, then you'll never have any regrets about it in your life. If it doesn't work, guess what? You can go be a manager again. I think you can do it. Go for it. And after that conversation, I remember having it in his house. I made the decision to turn him down, and I heavily gunned for YouTube, and I cranked it up, and I worked harder and harder and harder because of that. And here I am. And ever since thinking about D&D and wanting to do a D&D show, I knew I wanted to bring Scott on. Only because he's an amazing dungeon master and he has so much knowledge and so much experience in pen and paper RPGs, and his style is so awesome and unique, but because he's also one of my best friends and one of the reasons that I've been able to do what I do. So Lost Initiative starts tomorrow. It's been a wild couple of months. Creating any group show with multiple guests, as well as, two mainstays being myself and Scott, is always a lot of work. Coordinating, making sure we all pick a day and time that works for everybody, making sure my artist is knocking out the art that I want and need in the way that I need it and on time, and then setting up the Twitch channel, a subreddit, the Twitter, a YouTube channel for it that I hopefully will use in the future. It's a lot of fucking work, man. An email for it and all that stuff. Like, it's just a lot of work. It's just a lot of work. But the end product so far, and in learning a whole website, mind you, Roll20, to learning that and making that like a second nature, so that when we play, it's not, jilted and like we're not comfortable with it. Like, all that stuff is it's been a lot of work. So I'm glad we got it, and the show, again, starts tomorrow, November 2nd, and will be every single Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for about 3 hours, starting tomorrow. Twitch.tv/Lost Initiative show. Very excited for that. The last thing I want to talk about is this channel right here, the Mathys Games channel. What's going on with Mathys Games? Nothing is going on with Mathys Games. Things are going a little slower on it's that time of year. I always expect it, and when it happens, it always sucks. Summer ends, views plummet. We hit that weird drought at the end of summer going into fall where there's really no good games to play. I finish up whatever series I'm doing, and then I'm at a loss of things to play, which is why you're seeing things like Titanfall 2 on the channel, and Deceit group stuff. Is because we're right now the channel's in the dregs of not a lot of stuff to play. And while I think about being like, well, maybe we could go back to Subnautica or something, I'd love to play Subnautica, but I'm told that they're close to completion, and I'd rather just wait for the game to be fully released so that I can stop playing it and then being like, well, there's a new update. I could reset my save to see what the new stuff is. I'd rather just it come out and I don't have to think about it anymore. Basically, that's what I want to do with Subnautica. And of course, like, we just have other things. So I've been playing Isaac again, obviously. And what else have I been doing on the channel? Like I said, Deceit, Titanfall 2, Stardew Valley came back. And the reason I brought back Stardew Valley is because I really missed the game. And there was a big update that added a bunch to the game. Of course, it meant I had to start a new save file because I wanted to see at least one of the new farms. But I've been loving that. And I know a lot of you guys have been really enjoying its return. And I'm happy that you guys are enjoying its return. And I'm working on, getting some more group stuff up there because the group stuff always does well. You guys really enjoy that dynamic, and I love it as well. And, of course, Roundtable Podcast goes up every Saturday on my channel, even though it's live every Friday. So there's nothing wrong with the channel. It's just we're in that time of year where views plummet, growth slows, and then come the middle to end of this month in November, we'll see it jump right back up because people are going on holiday, people are out of school, and some new games will be coming out to play and worth playing. I think I'm going to do a playthrough of Owlboy. I'm not 100% sure yet. But yeah, it's just been one of those things that the channel is in that fall slump that I always hit, and it is what it is. But at the same time, I have things like Judge Mathis and Lost Initiative to keep my creative juices flowing, and things are going really, really well. If there's any games you guys would like to see on the channel, please let me know in the comment section below. I'm especially now looking for new things to play. I was talking to Ryan, Northern Lion, the other night, and it's like, he's the same way, where he's like, there's really nothing to play right now. And he's way more picky than I am, so he's even worse off when it comes to like game selection. It's just not a lot to play right now, but he's luckily where he has like the Ultimate Chicken Horse thing going on, which is awesome, and other group stuff. But yeah, it's just that time of year, man. And I've seen some people being like, man, your views are low, or you just don't have as many stuff going up anymore. It's like, yeah, well, welcome to fall. It happens every freaking year. If you go look at numbers, you're going to see every year it does that. And then in December, especially, it rockets up. January comes, goes back down. March, it kind of steadies out. And then April, May, it slowly starts to uptick until about June, where everybody's on summer vacation. It goes back up. It's just how YouTube works. It's one of the reasons I really like doing Judge Mathis, is because it's one of those things that it doesn't matter when it comes out. Let's Plays are very much day-to-day content, where Judge Mathis, it subsists on its own. A video can sit out for 2 weeks and gain views regularly. My top 5 dead MMOs still gets like 10 to 20,000 views a week. Like, people... It's an old video. It has almost 500,000 views on it, but it keeps getting watched because it's content that doesn't rely on it being updated every single day, where like Stardew Valley is very day to day, and if you miss an episode or you miss 5 episodes, you may not want to watch anymore, or you may have a backlog you have to catch up on, and that's just how Let's Play stuff works. Where Judge Mathis is very, like I said, it's very much standing on its own. So yeah, that's kind of where the channel is right now. I apologize for the mood lighting, by the way. I kind of have all my camera stuff still set up from the live recording of some Judge Mathis footage, and I'm kind of leaving it there because I'm going to be going back over to it very soon and doing some stuff for the next video. But the mood lighting works fine for me. I don't particularly care. I hope you don't care either. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Link to the newest Judge Mathis will be here or on this video somewhere. Same thing to the Twitch channel for Lost Initiative. You guys are amazing. Because of you, I get to do so many cool things. And the Lost Initiative show and Judge Mathis are 2 of the things that have taken up so much of my time and really have me eager to continue creating. It's just been awesome. And while Mathis games may be in a lull for views and stuff, creativity and my excitement for projects is pretty much at an all-time high. I'm very happy with where I am, and it's because of you guys. So thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the love. I can't wait to bring you guys Lost Initiative tomorrow, and go check out the newest Judge Mathis. It was uncondemned, and it was freaking hilarious. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.